if I was a stormtrooper and I'm in this hallway shooting at these guys and I'm hitting them, I'm like, look at that, I didn't miss, and it's having zero effect. I'd be like, God bless it. Why does our armor suck so bad? Hey, Internet! It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 3, The Heiress. We open with Mando, Frog Lady, and Baby Yoda crash landing impressively onto this moon of Trask, where Frog Lady is reunited with her husband, and Mandalorian hopes to then therefore meet other Mandalorians that have been seen on this moon. That happens. Okay, so we then at the end we end with Mando and Baby Yoda leaving this moon of Trask in order to go to a place called Corvus, where they are supposedly going to meet up with Ahsoka Tano. Big deal. So that is our episode. Very action-packed episode. What are your thoughts, good sir?
I certainly enjoyed it. I liked that there was, reintroduction to, the idea of a group of people.
That it's not just one guy.
Not just one guy.
And his pet.
And resolved, because we got Juan Carlos Esposito,
right, we see him in a hologram.
Yep. And we learned more about the Mandalorians. So I liked that.
Yes.
I liked that.
This definitely pushed the story forward, and at the same time, as I say, was action-packed. This episode's only like 30 minutes long. If you cut out the intro, last week on, and you cut out the end credits, it's maybe under 30 minutes. It's short, and yet there's this crash scene. Yes. There's a fight on a boat. Yes. There's a fight on a dock. Yes. And there's this giant extended fight on this Imperial, cruiser. So I mean, it's like bang, 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 bang.
Yes, a pacifist dream.
Yeah, no one died. They all resolved everything through diplomacy. Sequence of events, hey, get on this ship and we'll take you to where the Mandalorians are. Yes. But it's a trap, which we have Mon Calamari around here. So I think there's also Corran.
Yes. It's Corran is the other race, yes.
So it's the Corran that kind of screw over Mando. But what they want is his Beskar, like everyone does. He's just a walking, trap, essentially. so it's a trap. They trap him. They knock Baby Yoda into the maws of much like a Sarlacc pit, basically aquatic Sarlacc. And Mando jumps in after Baby Yoda. And actually, this shows. I was wrong about this. I assumed if I was ever going to get in a fight with a Mandalorian, I would want to fight them in the water. Oh. Because wearing plate mail, they just sink like a stone. Yeah.
No.
Now he's not particularly agile. He's kind of holding on to the bars and stuff, but he is not. No. He doesn't just go whoof. No. Which I assumed is what would happen if he was.
Yeah, because I was like, shoot, surely that ship has to have some bottom to it, where you maybe could swim under and then go around the side and maybe get back up, is what I was thinking.
How are they keeping that creature if it's not on the boat? If it's like, did they surround it with seawater but somehow trap it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, you're right. He could have gone down to the boat, bottom of the boat, and then come back up. Anyway, he didn't have to.
No.
Because he's rescued by Mandalorians who come in and, kill everything, save him. Now, they end up saving him again because they're like, hey, we're Mandalorians. They take their helmets off, and he's like, oh, God, you're terrible, just like Cobb Vanth. And so he kind of rejects them in that moment.
Yes.
And he leaves.
Yes.
I got stuff to do. Goes back to the dock. He is trapped in there. We're going to kill your pet. And he is saved again by the same group of Mandalorians.
Yeah, at that point, I had some doubt before they came along that he could have survived that second attack.
Well, at least with Baby Yoda, because he didn't have the little carrier anymore.
Well, yeah.
Because the carrier got destroyed by the
it should
critter.
have been pretty easy for those Corran to kill the Yoda in his hands.
Yeah, unless the little Baby Yoda had done a thing, which Baby Yoda has still not doing.
Oh, darn it.
Snap neck.
But it's the Baby Yoda didn't snap the neck of the creature that ate him, so.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. So he got a face hugger on him, by the way. He's eating soup.
Yes.
And it seems like, much like last episode.
Imagine that bursting out of little Yoda's chest.
Right. There was certainly in the previous episode, the eggs hatching scene was an alien kind of reference. And so this having a face hugger was also another alien reference regarding the little Baby Yoda. So the Mandalorians want Mando to join them on this mission.
Yes.
But why do we think they're so determined? Like, they come save his butt twice.
Yes.
Is it just... I'm thinking it's because they see that Beskar on him, and they're like, that guy must be cool. Like, he must have earned that. To what end is it like, oh, he's just a guy who's a Mandalorian? Are they desperate to have one more guy on the team? Or, they don't know anything about this guy.
Right.
So why are they so keen
on
saving him?
Well, he did come in handy, like he made himself the center of all these blasts in order to throw bombs at them.
I get it. He is obviously very useful to them, but they didn't know that. They didn't know he would be. In fact, because remember, they're like, oh, he's a member of this. He's a member of the Watch. Oh, he's one of those guys. So they didn't know. It wasn't like they had like a dossier on him.
No.
They were just like, oh, this guy. But they saved his life twice.
Right.
Maybe it's just like he's a Mandalorian and screw it.
If
you're a Mandalorian, we do it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. It was just like the code. We work for our fellow Mandalorians. So it turns out that these are the Night Owls. It's the group that Bo-Katan heads up. Bo-Katan is from the Clone Wars. I think was also in Rebels. And was voiced by Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica. And now, not just voicing over the character, is now playing it live action. That's pretty cool. And so, Bo-Katan, huge part of the Star Wars mythology. I think when last we saw her, she had liberated Mandalore with the dark saber, the symbol of leadership. And seemed like all was more or less well at that time. Now we know that subsequently Moff Gideon moved in and somehow got the darksaber back without killing her.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how that. We'll probably find out how that transpired.
Maybe magic, like whoa, where'd it go?
What's up my sleeve? Oh, look! Whoa! It's like scarves. And then the dark saber.
Yeah. It's like, I'll get you.
So that was very fascinating. The bit where Bo-Katan's like, "Oh, you're one of those."
Yes.
And so I think she even has knowledge. I think she used to be in the Death Watch. I could be wrong on that, but I think so. I think she actually has firsthand knowledge of the precepts of that group. So it's basically like it's like orthodox fundamentalists, and so Mando doesn't know any other way. He's just like, that's the way Mandalorians are, right? No, It turns out, this is the way. This is the other way.
Yes,
this is a very
this is the way.
This is an alternate way. And so it'd be interesting to see how he comes to grips with the idea of like, oh, I guess I can take off my helmet. Okay, well, how about that? So he also was like misinformed that, it's cursed to go back to Mandalore.
Yes.
And she's like, no, don't believe everything you hear. Like, no,
fake news.
You can go back to Mandalore. It's not, you're fine. So that was very interesting.
Yes.
Also, so they invade this ship. Bo-Katan says it's to get the weapons from the ship, but she also wants the ship itself.
Yes.
And so they, beat the living hell out of a bunch of, I guess they're still stormtroopers, former stormtroopers. They're wearing the gear.
I guess they're still, the storm hasn't passed.
Right. They're still employed in the same way. Still equally useless. Like, man.
Yes.
Like, and I assume, I don't know for a fact, it looked like the Night Owls, that their armor didn't look like Beskar, but it was deflecting blasts, so maybe it is Beskar. They just painted it. But yeah, like if I was a stormtrooper And I'm in this hallway shooting at these guys, and I'm hitting them. I'm like, look at that!
Yep.
I didn't miss! And it's having zero effect. I'd be like, God bless it. Why does our armor suck so bad? Like, Stormtrooper armor is, as we saw from, Ewoks taking them out with rocks, it's useless armor, and it's just designed. It's like red coat. It's like the British red coats, right? Look, you can see us coming. Just provides no defense.
Yeah.
And then just kill us.
Just warns our enemies. That's all. That's what the purposes of it is.
It's like man, with all the different substances in the galaxy, Beskar being one of them, but obviously rare. But there's got to be something that's, slightly less effective than Beskar, but more effective than cheap plastic or whatever the hell they're wearing. Anyway, they get routed.
Yes.
Very interestingly, we've got this scenario where the commander of the ship, dude from Lost, he was one of the villain from Lost. Anyway, that guy is the commander, and I was kind of excited to see him. Like, oh, that's a really good actor. That's kind of, and he's dead right away. But the way he dies is very interesting. So, oh look, we're being boarded. Oh no, it's terrible. Oh, all our friends have been thrown out the airlock. This is bad. And he, summons up Moff Gideon on the little hologram. It's like, hey, things aren't going so well. Looks like our ship's, in trouble. And Moff Gideon's like, well, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Long live the Empire. And yeah, he's like, yeah, I know what to do. I'm going to now commit suicide. So he shoots the two pilots. Eventually, after he's being interrogated, he bites down on some kind of, electro version of a cyanide capsule and dies.
Yeah.
But that really gives you this idea that we're not talking post-Empire guys looking for work. Like, hey, what'll pay the best? Oh, I'll be a pilot of a ship. Oh, these guys are zealots. They're basically, in some ways, there's a parallel between these guys and Mando, right? Mando's
sure.
Taught these fundamentalist ways. These guys are old school, we will commit suicide.
It does feel like it's more philosophy of the moment, not necessarily anything designed to foster connection. It's sort of like, what's the objective? Oh, it's going to be trouble, and we kill everybody or kill ourselves anyway. And so, not like the Mandalorians in that they have a code that they've been, honing for years or decades or centuries, however long it's been.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was interesting too is it seemed like the pilots were. Gideon is giving the instruction to the commander in front of the pilots, right? So the two pilots are there, and you're like, oh, they're in trouble. We're in trouble. You know what to do. I think the pilots, they don't resist, right? I mean, yes, they get shot.
No.
But they're not like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, I think they know as well. I think they're like, come on. They see the writing on the wall. You know what to do. Kill yourselves. And I feel like even it's down to the pilots were kind of in on it. Like, yeah, we got to die. Like, it's like, wow. I mean, it's a big deal to say, like, you have got that much power that you could just order 3 guys in a cockpit to go, just kill yourself and crash the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. So there is like there's more to this whole organization than simply like, we're in it for the cash and
sure.
We'll try to take over planets with our guns. Like, no, you're crazy as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's interesting. I thought that was really fascinating.
No, yeah, I agree.
We find out that Bo-Katan, wants these weapons in the ship to try to start a war versus, I guess, Moff Gideon, maybe, his forces. Maybe to reclaim Mandalore and put the rightful ruler, which, by the way, is her. So
yeah, I know.
Like, put me back on the throne. Like, she asked about the Darksaber.
Yeah, I guess very Arthurian, right?
Yeah. But it also makes me think that maybe Moff Gideon's base of operations is on Mandalore. I mean, that might make the most narrative sense that in order to beat him, they have to go back to Mandalore, and that we'd see a fight for Mandalore there. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe. It was interesting that she didn't know that he had it. Maybe she was just confirming. Like, if it was taken from her by him, you think she'd be like, yeah, he's got it. But maybe because she's like desperate to know, like, does he still have it or something like that. I forgot her wording, but it was suggesting like she was trying to confirm that indeed Moff Gideon had the dark saber.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it means that somebody other than Moff Gideon took it from her and gave it to Moff Gideon. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Small point, but whatever.
Yeah.
So the big news is they succeed, and the reward to Mando is, you know what? Take the child to the Corvus, and you can ask for Ahsoka Tano. Tell him, I sent you, essentially. And yes, obviously, Bo-Katan definitely knew Ahsoka Tano. In fact, her sister was the love interest for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
And she also had a big time falling out with Darth Maul. Like she's been
she's been
in touch with many different folks. So she knows of what she speaks.
That's true.
And Ahsoka Tano, I mean, people who are watching this probably know this, but just to say it, she was Anakin's Padawan. And so she's met Yoda many times. She would definitely recognize Baby Yoda as like, that's one of the Yoda species. So that obviously stuff would start coming together big time once they meet up.
So what is your prediction? Is it next episode? Is it the episode after that?
Now I've heard a rumor that it is not the next episode.
Okay. All right.
There's apparently I heard there were some screenshots from the next episode that imply that it's more back to like Grief Karga and those folks. So
yeah, they've been quiet a while.
Maybe they're back on Navarro or something like that. But that's a rumor. I think I'll go with it. I'll go that the rumor's true, and I'll say that
I knew you'd fall for that rumor.
Damn it! That they're gonna meet up with Ahsoka in episode 5.
Oh, okay.
That's probably where we end up finding her. Also, it could be that Bo-Katan's like, here's where you can find Ahsoka Tano, but I don't want to just have you walk in on Ahsoka Tano, so I'm giving you a direction that won't lead you right to her, might lead you to a contact of hers, so that in case Ahsoka Tano doesn't want to see you, she doesn't have to. I don't know, maybe. But I think that's a legit lead. I don't think she's like, actually, I should have sent you to a different planet. I think probably Ahsoka Tano is on Corvus. So
it's another and you must go on a quest to go here, to go there, to go there to get something.
It's like it's a recurring dream I have, or a theme of a dream where I have to get from point A to point B, and I never get to point B. Like whatever it is, I'm like, oh, the car broke down. Oh, now I got to walk through this field. Now I have to, I'm like, God, just get me to point B. And it's one of those frustrating
hopefully one day
dreams.
You get the treat like, okay, your torture is happening down the road there. If you could just go down the road, like, oh, okay, I'll go.
Oh, great. I'll not get there. This is awesome. This is the best dream ever. So it's anyway. But yes, it's kind of you'll get there eventually. Oh, not now. And in fact, we see as he takes off, a piece of the ship flies off. The ship is in bad shape, so the ship could be falling apart and not get there in time. We'll find out. Sure. But other thing, something I did like. I liked the retrofitted AT-ATs, I assume, that were the cargo lifters. That was kind of cool. That looked neat.
Yeah, because we've never seen the case that they come out of, so we don't know all the attachments for the AT-AT.
Right. So. Right, other than in the toy version. Damn it! I wanted the cargo lifter AT-AT.
Yeah. Where's the pyramid maker AT-AT?
We also did see that the eggs were fertilized.
Yeah.
There was a little spawn, and we see that Baby Yoda is in fact playing with a little kid reptile instead of eating it.
Yes.
So maybe we see a little thing where Baby Yoda learned a little lesson. I don't know.
Maybe.
Don't eat everything.
Now, do you think this decreases, leaves the same, or increases the likelihood that we may see Jin's face?
I would say I'd say it increases the likelihood we see Jin's face. I mean, we saw his face briefly, obviously in season 1, when he was injured and he had to remove his helmet.
But
involuntarily.
Okay, I'm sorry. Other characters seeing his face. That's what I meant. Other characters. Seeing his face.
I mean, it certainly increases. How much it increases?
Okay.
Oh, actually, good point. You just reminded me of something. News came out a week ago or so that there's a Boba Fett spinoff series that is going to come out probably before season 3 of Mandalorian. They don't know the exact timing, but that's the idea. Which sounds cool on the surface, but then when you start really thinking about it, you're like, don't you already have that series? Isn't it all? I mean, like, would it just be the Mandalorian with a different dude, or are you going to have him without his armor? And it's just like, I'm a world weary, used to be a cool bounty hunter, but now I'm just here on Tatooine, roaming the desert. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you would think Boba Fett. You're like, okay, you're going to see the dude in the armor. He's gonna basically do what the Mandalorian's doing. You wouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't have 2 exact same shows.
Yeah. So presumably it would be different in some way. Yeah. I mean, for me personally, they have a lot to establish, since my only familiarity with him is, as a Mandalorian, and so if he's in his uniform then it's like, I'll be wondering why is this different? But if he's not, then it's like, why are we watching?
Right, exactly. There's 2 different issues. One is, you're just showing us what we've already got. You're redundant. Or why do we care?
Yeah.
Why do we? You could pick anybody and just make them be like, I'm the guy in the desert who's the hermit, like Obi-Wan doing stuff. I don't know. So how are they threading the needle to give us an engaging Boba Fett that's not the Mandalorian?
Sure.
Interesting. It'd be interesting to see how that progresses. But,
I'm hoping that they're going to really try to develop the Mandalorian, philosophies and codes. Even though if I had to put money on it, they probably will stay surface, is what I would expect. But as I've been saying, I want more meat, more substance there, and so it'd be interesting to see how they resolve some of this issues between the different factions of the Mandalorian. So I hope they don't get that short
when codes clash.
Yes.
You get drama, you get tension.
Yeah.
And I've also said at some point you're going to have that armor is so invulnerable. At some point he's going to have to achieve something without it. I mean, I feel like, so maybe somehow that comes into the Mandalorian code somehow. But anyway. Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome.
We'll be back talking Star Trek Discovery and the Mandalorian. So come on back, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.